I made a fake one.
Power Rangers and Hasbro will be at San Diego Comic-Con this year. That's right, folks. Power Rangers will be at San Diego Comic-Con. Now, it's looking like we are not going to get a bunch of news like we want, okay? As of right now, take this with a disclaimer that we might only get some appearances of the Rangers and maybe a toy or two drop, okay? Don't get super excited about this yet, because the way that they worded it seemed like they're going to be doing some Power Ranger things. They're gonna have a panel with a bunch of former Rangers, but that's going to be talking about like the history of Power Rangers. Like, don't get me wrong, there's gonna be something to do with San Diego Comic-Con. You're gonna see Power Rangers there. And I still think it's awesome that they have a presence there, but even when you're looking at their booth, their Hasbro booth, I think we're gonna get some Dino Fury Rangers there. So maybe, just maybe, we do get a release date of when the second half of season 2 comes to Netflix. That would be pretty tight. There are 11 episodes left to come to Netflix. Now, we did get 2 international spoilers, so we basically have 9 episodes left if you checked out those spoilers. And I'm excited to see the rest of this season in its entirety on Netflix. Even if I do watch the spoilers, you know I'm going to check this out, all right? And because we're not getting any big news this year, I know the fans are kind of throwing a fit in the sense of what is Hasbro doing? And I am going to stick up for Hasbro for a little bit on the business side of things. And this brand was huge in like it used to be huge, went down a big slope, and by the time I picked back up on it was Ninja Steel. I tried to get back into Power Rangers before the movie, was trying to show my kid it, and Ninja Steel, I couldn't get into it. Like, I remember I tried to talk about it, guys. It's some early videos of me talking about that show, and just I was not into it. I barely made any because it just wasn't my jam. It was missing the heart. It had a bunch of Saban-like things from the 90s in it, and it felt rushed. It felt like the writers and the producers and the showrunners were all being told what to do by somebody else and living and creating their vision and not their own vision for what the series could have been or they wanted it to be. And that was the one thing with Ninja Steel, because they had dope suits. Like, there's a reason why that they chose those suits over a lot of different ones. It's because Ninja Steel was dope. And they could have sold those suits a lot more, sold those figures, those toys, everything a lot more if they did it correct. I didn't like how they treated Ninja Steel, and that comes down to the top. That was one of those that had a lot of Saban fart humor and fart jokes and just a hella bunch of them, and it just was not a good season. And it was kind of funny because a lot of the Power Ranger guys and the YouTube group, they're all like, oh, we wish we would have told you to stay away from that one. And so when I saw Beast Morphers, I fell in love. I thought it was a really good season. And then Dino Fury has taken what I loved from Beast Morphers and amplified it. The character stories, the character growth, the fact that there's an episode and there's like 7-8 things going on in an episode instead of one A plot and one B plot, and that's about it. It was awesome to see that Hasbro is actually stepping up the TV show step by step. And then you can't tell me that the toys from Bandai the last few years were better than Hasbro's. Hasbro's Lightning Collection as a whole destroys the Legacy Collection. A lot of the Legacy stuff, the figures, they had problems with paint. the early Hasbro ones did. I feel like that they got that under control. Now, Hasbro, they've got more helmets. They've got some cool looking morphers. They've got some cool stuff, some weapons coming. Like what do we got? The Blue Ranger's weapons coming. Was it the Power Lance? Like he's got those coming, man. Who's doing that? Now they are really hitting home with Mighty Morphin because Mighty Morphin is what sells. They have to always kick out Mighty Morphin and pay the bills. Now, with the release of the Dino Fury figures, there's not that many, and that's because they're not throwing away their money. Bandai released so many figures that I would always see Power Ranger figures on the clearance rack. You don't see a lot of Power Ranger items on the clearance rack, guys, and if they are, they're bought right away. But Power Ranger items these days, it's a way smaller section. There's still figures, but they're not giving us a lot right now, meaning that they're saving all of the heavy artillery for a couple years down the line when they release this big project with the movie, with the series. That's what they really want to do, guys. If you're taking something over and you have to stabilize something, you're not going to put all of your energy and money and resources in just to stabilize. Now, what exactly do you mean stabilize, brah? So, when they bought this from Saban, Beast Morphers was already pretty much going to be the next season. They took that over and added their own little Hasbro sprinkle onto it and made it a better show, in my opinion. Dino Fury was the first actual 100% original where there was no say from Saban whatsoever. Does that make any sense, guys? This one was where the producers, the showrunners, everybody really got to do their own thing, and look what happened. We have a beautiful creation. It's as close as a masterpiece as you can get in the Power Ranger world, and we're not even done yet. We have more time left, and we're getting hit with great stories, great character growth, backstories, and then you also get all those nostalgic callbacks from Ranger history to bringing back Lord Zed, for God's sakes. There's a lot going on with Power Rangers just with that. Now, the reason why they aren't giving us something huge yet, guys, you have to remember this, because they're just stabilizing. They took Dino Fury, they took the whole Adapt to Sentai idea and made it cool again. I love it. Thank you. Next, though, they want to do their own thing with this property. They want to have a universe. I mean, they just keep adding people. It seems like they have a bunch of Hollywood writers, showrunners, directors. They're ready to roll. It sounds like we're going to be getting something in the next couple years from Jonathan Entwistle. Will this be in theaters? Will it be a Netflix theaters project where the series goes to Netflix, or it's in theaters? I don't know yet. We've heard Netflix. We know that this is going to be on Netflix. So, and there's nothing wrong with it. If it's good, it's good. And Netflix has been stepping up their game. A lot of these new shows and the new series from, even just the newest Stranger Things. How raw was that, guys? But then you also have new shows coming out and movies. And if you guys know I'm a basketball fan. The Hustle with Adam Sandler, how cool was that? The Man in Toronto with Kevin Hart, some people didn't like that movie. I thought it was pretty good. If we can get something of just that quality, but with the Power Rangers story and good character growth, action, I think these Netflix things could be cool. I mean, give it a try. I think that'd be fun. Or could you see this in theaters? That's the big thing for me, is where do you see this project going? I believe in Hasbro, and they shouldn't get a full assessment until you see a project that they put out That is 100% what they want to do. I know that they have this whole idea that kind of rivals or goes with Transformers. They want this to be a brand that kind of pushes that other brand to its limits. And this could be that down the line. You build Power Rangers, and in 5-10 years, you could do movies with the Transformers and the Power Rangers. Like, that wouldn't be that hard if you start building now. In 5 to 10 years, you can put it together. Make your own little universe, man. You have it. How cool would it be? Like, G.I. Joe, Power Rangers, Transformers all had their own set of movies, and they all were in the same type of universe, if you will. Ooh, it would make sense. Those are things that they're thinking of down the line. I guarantee it. This isn't just like I don't have anybody giving me information, but I know, like, you don't have those brands and think, oh, how can we put these together? How can they align? How can we make Power Rangers more like Transformers, right? And Power Rangers needs to be its own thing because it always has. But to really criticize Hasbro, because we've just seen them do the Sentai adaptation thing, but they've said many times in many different ways that they want to do some kids content, but they want to do more TV-14 content. And until I see that, I can't kill them too bad, because they took this over to stabilize it, and then they get to do what they wanted to do. And I'm a big believer, if COVID didn't happen, we would have already had some type of original movie or series. But because COVID happened, it slowed everything down, and then getting back to the theater, certain movies hit, certain movies didn't, and their G.I. Joe movie, Snake Eyes, it did not do that great. So it definitely made them slow down the production and how they're going to move with Power Rangers. That's not a horrible thing, guys. I believe that slowing down is actually the best thing that they possibly could have done with this, because when you speed things up and you're like, yo, we have to get this out by next year, that's when you start forcing things. And you do not want to force things in today's kind of economy, especially, and don't get me wrong, we want to make money, we want to get it out, we want to make a hit. However, that's not how it works. If you speed this thing up and you take less time and you cut some corners, it's not going to look that good. And when you put it out, people are just going to boo it, and people are going to give it bad ratings, and then that's all you're going to remember. They're not going to remember that, oh, they did this in way less time. No, that's not how it works. Take your sweet old time and make a masterpiece. If this thing takes a year or two longer than I want it to, instead of it taking 2, 3, if it takes 4 or 5 years and it's a masterpiece, I don't care. I do not care. As long as this thing bangs, I will wait 5 years, right? That's kind of how I feel about this. If this movie is amazing, I don't care if it takes 5 or even 6 years. What are your guys' thoughts? Let me know in the comments. This is a longer rant for me, but I did want to kind of shout out Hasbro. Shout out the showrunners in New Zealand, the directors, the producers, the crew, the actors, the voice actors, everybody. Y'all have done a great job, not only with Hasbro, but all of the seasons. You were working with what the good Lord gave you, all right? There's nothing wrong with liking Ninja Steel. I just saw that was when things went downhill for Saban, and that's no wonder why he sold it. You know what I mean? I saw a fan kind of today putting down Hasbro and saying, oh, Hasbro will save the franchise. Everyone said 2 years ago. You're in denial, pretty much. And my statement before I leave, guys, is I said the show and toys are better under Hasbro than the Neo Saban era. Hasbro hasn't had the opportunity to make it theirs yet, and they're still doing a good job. I would take Hasbro over Neo Saban, and it's not even close. Do you remember how bad Ninja Steel was? The show and toys were awful. Saban didn't sell the brand because it was in a great place. He sold it partially because he helped run Power Rangers into the ground. And if he didn't sell it to Hasbro, they could have killed the brand. And when I mean kill the brand, it might have been bought by someone else, but it could have been shelved real quick. Hasbro stabilized the brand. Now they will start to swing some home runs soon. That's when I'm going to start to judge. I'm not saying don't judge Hasbro. I've definitely had a problem with the lack of Dino Fury toys. However, I see that they're not putting all of their resources into Dino Fury this year. And there's probably a reason for that. It's probably a money thing. They're not going to lose money on this brand no more. We're going to be strategic with this brand. We're not going to run it into the ground. That's something that I have respect for. As long as you're still releasing Power Ranger toys, there's still Dino Fury toys, there's Morphers, there's Chroma Fury Sabers, there's a bunch of different things out right now. You can go to the store, Target, Walmart, and probably find some type of Dino Fury stuff. It's not as big as it used to be, I get it. But the Lightning Collection is tight, and that's actually a top-selling premium collection at this point, guys. So I shout out Hasbro for what they were able to do and stabilizing this brand. Now I do want to see them go out and swing some home runs. That's what it's about. But I'm gonna stick up for them until I see those home runs, and then it's open season. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. You know what I'm saying? But until I can't really see anything. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you still believe in Hasbro? Let me know. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this content. We absolutely love you guys, and we'll see you next time. Peace. Shout out to our Gold Ranger member, Jeremy. Sign up to be a member today. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this content, you know what to do. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. You can also become a member. Please join the fan club support team right now. We have a Blue Ranger power-up and a Gold Ranger power-up. This is an awesome way to talk with the fans. Join a fan club official chat group. You can also be featured in our videos. At the end of the videos, I will shout you out. That's if you get the Gold Ranger Power-Up membership. Go check it out. Go support the fan club. We love you guys, and thanks for watching. Peace.